All right, so let's check this vintage UFO report here. Um, these more vintage UFO reports are the ones I like to do. They just feel more authentic um, than the more modern ones. Not saying that the more modern ones, a lot of them aren't like real incidents of UFOs. I just personally feel like the more vintage ones just feel more real. Like because and like I always say because the technology just wasn't there back in the day. Um, like from the night like the early 2000s on down, like the 90s, the 80s, 70s, 60s, 50s, 40s on down, like the technology just wasn't there for these crazy strange, you know lights and objects and crafts that people have been seeing over the decades. Like this story here is from 1950, all the way back to 1951, Los Angeles, California. I was only 8 years old when I remember it clearly. Ooh. While at my grandmother's house, my mother sent me to our car to get a sweater for her. It was in the trunk. While opening the lid, I got the feeling that I was being watched. Ooh. Okay. I looked all around but saw nothing alarming. I got the sweater, then looked up for some reason, and I saw a round object at about 1,500 feet, maybe 100 feet higher or lower than that. And I watched it for about 2 minutes. It just hovered there, right over my head, not moving. Then it shot up at an extremely high speed, and in less than a second was almost out of sight. How many times in these reports do we hear about this taking place? An strange object hovering there, and then it just like shoots at high speed, um, either out of sight or like yeah, like out of sight, basically. That's crazy, man. So then it shot up at an extremely high speed. Like, think about this. In 1951, there is nothing like that in 1951. That's very early on in our aviation history. 1951. That's, like, we didn't have anything like that could hover, then, like, shoot like a frickin' rocket somewhere. Like, just on, like, within, like, a split second and stuff, Because it says here, it shot up at an extremely high speed and in less than a second was almost out of sight. It was round. It had a cone like shaped bottom. Oh, that's okay. With what looked like about 6 rings around the cone? Whoa. Um, okay. Well, that's even weirder then. I remember some involvement at the outer edge of the airframe. Or no, involvement. I remember some movement at the outer edge of the airframe. The airframe. Well, when I got back to my mother with the sweater, I told her what I had seen, and I got spanked for taking an hour to get her sweater. Oh man, poor kid. He just saw something amazing and he got spanked for it. I would have I would have to bet my life I was only gone 5 minutes. I have no recollection of those other 55 minutes. Oh, there's another witness to it. My friend at the time was the other witness to the event, and he had no time loss at all. Okay. Well, I mean, at 8 years old, I was looking at frickin' silver discs up in the sky at my grade school, so. And I remember them clear as day, so. 8 years old, that's old enough to remember very well. I mean, especially something like crazy like this. Um, so it was like disc shaped or round. It was like disc shaped or round shaped, but it also had this like cone shaped bottom with rings around the cone. And he remembers some movement at the outer edge of the airframe. Does he mean like the outer edge of like the I don't know exactly. Very strange, interesting, fascinating story though. So yeah, that is 1952, 51, Los Angeles, California. Let me know what you think about this incident here. Pretty good one. And I'll be back with more UFO and other strange story content here shortly.